Our first guest tonight is a talented actor and comedian you know from his work as Ali G, Bruno, and Borat. He wrote, produced, and starred in Borat, subsequent movie film for which he received an Oscar nomination and WGA Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. He is also nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for his performance as Abbie Hoffman in The Trial of the Chicago 7. Let's take a look.
You know why you're on trial here?
We carried certain ideas across state lines. Not machine guns or drugs or little girls, ideas. When we crossed from New York to New Jersey to Pennsylvania to Ohio to Illinois, we had certain ideas. And for that, we were gassed, beaten, arrested, and put on trial.
Please welcome to the show, Sacha Baron Cohen. How are you, Sacha?
Hi, good. How's it going, Seth?
It's going very well. It's incredible to me, not only how wonderful both these performances are, but the fact that you were doing them simultaneously is shocking to me because it's obviously they're two very different sets. One is very controlled, and then, of course, you have Borat.
Yes. I mean, on the set of Chicago 7, you can go to craft services and, you can go to a trailer. On the set of Borat, you're basically running away from the police. So you eat in between.
Well, it's so funny because, of course, that's what Abbie Hoffman goes through in real life, and it's what you put yourself through as an actor, as Borat. You know, Abbie Hoffman was someone who used clowning to sort of make political points, very different from Borat, obviously, in what they were aiming to do, but there are some similarities there.
Yeah, I mean, I always found Abbie this really inspirational character. I first read about him when I was in university, when I was about 20, and he was really hilarious, brilliantly clever, but fundamentally like this really brave, courageous activist who, actually was ready to dive to fight injustice, which is not a very funny thing to say on a late night show, but I've done it.
Well, it's interesting, though, because I do feel like this Borat was certainly more political than the last one. And in a way, you were putting yourself in fairly dangerous situations. You must realize, there is some parallel now to what Abbie Hoffman was doing a long time ago.
Well, I never really wanted to do another Borat movie. And then Donald Trump came along, and I got increasingly angry with some of the things that were going on, the Muslim ban, etc. And then it was coming up to the election, and I felt I needed to put the grey suit on again just to, put out something to show that I didn't agree. And we really just wanted it to come out before the election. So the whole crew put themselves through crazy experiences and put themselves at real risk.
So, obviously you have just the logistical challenges of something like CPAC, which I want to ask about in a minute, and then you have the challenges of writing a script. But of course, the core of Borat is this performance and this character you become, and you went to a clowning school. Was that actually in France?
That was a French teacher called Philippe Gaulier, and luckily it was in London. People would fly from around the world. There were people from Australia had flown to study with him, and then basically the first thing you would do is you put on some clown music, you put on your red nose, go around the room. If he hit his drum, you would have to sit down, and that was it. That was the end of your exercise. And you'd have people who'd flown in from Australia. The clown music goes, stops the clown music, they start speaking, and he hits his drum because they're not funny, and they would burst into tears and hate him.
Very sad. It's just sad to think of anyone crying in their full clown costume.
Exactly. Sad clown.
Is this a clown teacher who is proud of the work that you have done in the years since you were under his tutelage?
Well, I'm still in contact with him, and I will call him up and I go, "What do you think? How was that?" And he'll often go, "That was it was not good. You were not funny. We did not like this character." So it keeps. He's very good at keeping me down.
Is it true that even before Ali G, you worked on a kids show?
It was. I was bizarrely, given my lack of personality, the host of a show. Admittedly, it was for teenagers, but I wanted to get out of the job and be a comedian, but I didn't know anyone in London who had that job. I didn't even know any actors. So I was basically started doing these little characters live on the TV show. So I would go out and shoot beforehand. And the idea was they'd play it and react to what was going on. And one of the characters actually was Borat. So the first time I ever took him out was at a fox hunting rally in London outside the House of Parliament. There's a bunch of members of the upper class going out to say that they should keep fox hunting because it's an important English tradition. And I went out and basically pretended to be from Moldova, and I was, hello, I'm from Moldova, Televisky, in my country. We hunt Jews, we give them a head start, and then we hunt them. You think we should do it here? And they'd say, well, I suppose if it was a fair start, at least 20 or 30 minutes, then yes. And yeah, so that was the birth of Ali G and Borat, and eventually I left that kids show. Obviously, everyone at the kids show hated it. By the way, when I put those, when I actually put those things on the TV show, I immediately got brought in to the head of the show, and he said, "Do that again, and you are fired." And in fact, they not only fired me, they shut down the entire channel. That's
Well, that's a nice legacy.